Hey, YouTubers, I am live. It's your girl, Sherri Bell. How are we doing? Listen, I made a commitment that I'm going to make sure that I come on my channel and do some lives because you guys been requesting for some lives. And because I'm always inside of my group, I have a group for ambitious women in finance and sales, and these amazing experts in finance. I go live there on Tuesdays. So I said, how can I get my YouTubers to make sure they're getting the good gem as well? So today I decided that I'm going to go live here on Thursdays. So, anyways, I don't know when you're going to be tuning into this, but we're live today and we're going to be talking about the one idea I wish I knew before becoming an entrepreneur. I'm getting ready to speak in Missouri. And I get this question a lot from beginners, especially people are coming to the financial space of like, hey, what do you wish someone had told you when you first started, before you started hitting your 6 and 7 figures, before you started having 6 figure months? Like what was that? What did that look like? Before you went from a 430 credit score right, to 60K month, before you went from a two-bedroom apartment to building your first home. Like, they're all stories that I get all the time. What did you wish you knew? So I said, you know what? I want to share with you the number one idea I wish I knew before becoming an entrepreneur. And I think the idea is pretty much a principle or a law, right? And let's, before I even dive in on what that is, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm always going to be coming here, giving you live jams. I come here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and give you live jams. So this is no other. Anywho, with that being said, I also want to, let's talk about what is law of principle. What do I mean by that? What is laws? The law of principle means truth, right? It means the truth. That means this has to be true, no matter how we feel, no matter like something emotion will stay in motion, an object emotion stay in motion unless it's object on a outside force. So what does that mean? Like, that's Newton law. That has nothing to do with it. If there's an object in motion, it will stay in motion. Why am I saying this to you? Is because those are an example of law of principle, right? Those principles are truth. We believe what they're saying. So um I really follow law of principle. So I say, okay, what is the law of principle in this idea before I believe what the idea is? So knowing that what I'm getting ready to share with you, I'm going to be sharing with you some law of principle because I'm sharing with you this law of principle, that means the stuff that I'm telling you has to be true. Okay. Okay. So when we come to entrepreneurship, my idea, I was walking in what I call the spirit of darkness, right? Anybody in that spirit of darkness right now? Like, I'm walking the spirit of darkness where I I think I heard Myron Golden say this. I want to credit him. He says the where you are versus where you want to be, in the middle is what you don't know, right? What you don't know. So there's a lot when I first started off, I did not know. I just did not know. So, and I wish I knew, but I just did not know. So that right there, I'm thinking, so because I did not know, I'm thinking with the belief system or the mindset that I need to get strategies, I need to get systems, I need to get tools, I need to get all this stuff right. I need to get a website. And those are things I did not know, but that's not what I needed, right? That's not what I needed. So, because if a strategy doesn't work today, oh my God, you do a live and nobody come on. Oh my gosh. You just start freaking out because you feel like nobody come on. It's not working. And then you're down for like 2 days because you're depressed because nobody because it's not working. So I was definitely was a strategy, and it definitely was a system. Will I need those later on? Yes. When I first started off, yes, you will definitely need that. Right. So have you ever wished you had like some type of secret weapon that before diving into this world of entrepreneurship, you kind of know what to do? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today, right? It's your day. So we're going to do this live and we're going to talk about that because in a vast landscape of entrepreneurship, there are profound in law of nature that play the law of advancement. That's what I want to talk about today, the law of advancement, because we're talking about the one idea I wish I knew before becoming an entrepreneur, because we all want to advance, right? We all want to advance. We all want to move from 0 to 6 figures, from 6 figures to 7 figures, from 7 figures to 8 figures. We all want to do that. And why we want to do that is because we want to change some things about our financial status. We want to be able to do some things that we never could do. We want to be able to hire someone to come and help us clean our home so we can have more time with our family, or we can work more in our business. We want to hire somebody, a tutor, to help our child advance in school. We want to be able to have finances so when you go to the doctor and there's an illness, you're not thinking what option should you pay your mortgage, or should you pay for this illness, this doctor bill, like, so those are all things that the purpose of you wanting to be able to generate revenue to pay for things that are important, and also give to your give back to your community. You want to be able to give to your charity, not give back because you didn't take anything from them, right? But give to your charity. You want to be able to do that as well. So learn how mental discipline is really like the concentrated thing. And before I even kind of go into that, what is the law of nature? How does the law of nature play a role? The law of advancement is what I want you to kind of stay with there, because the law of advancement is just like a seed that must be buried down into the soil before it can shoot up as a mighty tree. See, our journey requires us to dive deep before we can rise high. And when we're talking about the law of advancement, nobody told me. Nobody told me. Nobody told me that I have to become a tree. I have to become the seed of a tree, right? And I heard this statement from Myron on a podcast the other day, and I was like, wow, what does that mean? What do I mean by just like a seed, it must be buried down into the soil before it can shut up as a mighty tree? Our journey requires us to delve deep before we can rise high. It's about letting go, absorbing nature, embracing change, all of that stuff. I wish I knew that, right? And I wish I knew the law of advancement. So let me kind of just put in perspective what that is. So when you and no one's tell you this. So when you're decide that you're going to have a business, I would hear people say, I'm full time in my business. You're like, well, how are you paying your bills? Well, I don't have much coming in right now. And I'm like, well, how successful is your business if you don't have revenue coming in? Right. We got to make sure the math is mathing, because you need some type of revenue to market yourself, invest in coaching, take care of your family, pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? That's called being responsible. Now, don't get me wrong. I am all about the bootstrap business when I started. And so when I started, I had to do the bootstrap way. If I had to market myself, I didn't have money for marketing. So that means I may have to be the graphic designer. I may have to be the virtual assistant. I may have to be the actor of the business. I may have to be the expert and the social media person and the sales funnel and the CR. I had to do everything, right? It's because I didn't have money to pay for coaching in the beginning, right? In the beginning of my career. So I said, okay, this is great, but I need to start making some money. And making some money means that you may need to go get a 9 to 5. I talk about this a lot inside of my group for ambitious women in finance. And that may means that you may have to just, put your big girl panties on and go get a job, right? I hope you two don't flag me for that. But you have to go get some type of income coming in. So really your entrepreneurship become your side hustle. And I remember getting a part-time job as a substitute teacher so I can pay in my marketing, pay for my coach and all these amazingness that's going on. I remember that, okay, this is what I have to do. So because I needed some type of cash flow that can come in. So as I build into who I'm becoming, who I'm being, right? Because it is great. I'm going to get there. That's no doubt about that. But I need some type of resources to do that as well. And I didn't have to, and knowing where I was heading, I was okay with what we would call now hustle mode, right? At that time, because I knew this is temporary, right? Temporary thing. for bigger outcome. So what I wasn't prepared for it, because when you are putting something out there in the world, what tend to happen, I'm gonna wrap this up really fast. What tend to happen is you're putting things out in the world and you're hoping to get a return, but the time when you plant your seed is not the day you harvest. So you have to create that mental discipline to understand that your cash flow is going to go down. Oh, here we go. Your cash flow is going to go lower as you're planting your seeds. So let's say, let me put in perspective. Let's say you want to have a event. I have a masterclass coming up about this, but you want to have an event, and in that event, you have to pay for the space, the location, the maybe food for the people, the experience. You have to pay for the experience, right? And pay for those experience and event, and then not knowing who's going to buy a ticket, who's going to come, your income is going to drop. Your revenue for your business is going to drop to satisfy that thing, right? You're sewing in to that event to impact lives, to have a income, right? So you're doing an impact life to have an income. So one of the thing is, my belief system around that was hard. It was like, how do I invest in doing this thing and watching my revenue go down? It's like when I started running ads, like, okay, so I'm running these ads and my income is dropping, and my income is dropping. Kind of, I do the ad spend and my ads manager and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, all this stuff is happening. What do I need to do? You know what I'm saying? But you have to become someone else. You have to kind of learn how to build that this is what we're talking about, the mental discipline, right? Because that is a cornerstone of success as entrepreneur, right? The law of nature teaches us that consumption equals creation, right? So as I'm consuming these things, like I'm consuming and get myself more exposure and put myself out there and doing the ad stuff, and I just started doing ads, y'all, because most stuff was organic for me for years. And if you're willing to let go of your old self, right? My old self was like, oh my God, not having that faith and like, oh my God, is this going to work? You never receive the growth and success you desire. So it's time to kind of break free from your shackles of the familiarity and embrace the power of change. I had to completely become a different person, that I am a millionaire and these are the things millionaires do. They invest in this and they invest in that, and I'm going to do it. And yes, while I'm doing it, while I'm planting that seed, the things are going down, right. It looks like it's like when you invest in coaching and you're paying your coaching every month, the coaching price may be going down and you're like, oh my God, I'm not seeing the return yet, the financial return, because more than likely you're seeing the return, you're just not realizing that you're seeing the return. More than likely, you are 100% seeing the return. It may be transforming the way you believe about yourself, right? That is not a financial transformation. That's an intangible transformation, but it's worth so much more because your eyes are open. You're not walking in darkness anymore, right? It may be that but you're worried about because you're like, oh my God, I got to pay for this. And I remember investing in coaching, and I know I need coaching, but how do I pay for this? And I just remember telling myself that coaching investment become like my mortgage, like that I have to get this because it makes me be more clear on who I am and my mental state, and it open up doors in the end financially. What I tell people is this, um coaching what I tell people is this, that coaching is a space where um you start thinking a different way, right? And you start being around people who are already high level thinkers already, right? So that's the law of advancement. So when I became a person who says I want a multi-million dollar business, and I said, who is that lady? Who is she, right? So when I'm thinking about the one idea I wish I knew before an entrepreneur, I wish I understood or knew or was introduced to the law of advancement, in knowing that everything, it has to go down before it goes up, right? And down doesn't mean that you're failing, right? Down doesn't mean that you're failing. It's like when companies or realtors or investors decide to build a house, right? They have to pay for all this stuff. They don't know if somebody's going to buy the house. They don't know if the market is going to hold by the time they're done. But they still got to pay the mortgage. They still got to pay the land fees. They still got to pay the taxes. They got to pay the zoning people. They got to pay the builders. They got to put out all this money with the faith that it will return. But because of their confidence and believe in themselves, and I think what even make it better, they know they can bet on themselves because they know they have the belief system and the knowledge to, if it goes left, I do this. If it goes right, I do this. So they believe in themselves, right? If you want to dive deeper, or you love these type of conversation where we open up and unpack with you this type of idea, if you like these type of videos and you're ready to take your entrepreneurship journey to like the next level, you want to dive into entrepreneurship, or we have an entrepreneurship, what we call Netflix vault. And in that vault, I'm discussing conversations like this. I have all these conversations in this vault. I want to share that with you because we're going to discover the treasure and strategy and exclusive content to fuel your growth. So there's a link below. You can click that link, and I have a vault filled with these type of empowering, inspiring conversation around building your business, building a credible business that generate cash flow, and creating principles that guide you in developing that business, right? Developing that successful entrepreneurship. Make sure you click the link and grab the Entrepreneur Netflix Vault. It's below, and you will constantly have these. It's like Netflix on steroids, okay? These are all the videos that I use and that's transformed my client's life and transformed the listener's life. And I mean, nothing bring me more joy than listening to them sending me message on Facebook saying, "Hey, oh my God," or even on YouTube, like, "I got your vote," and it's like literally, and it's free. This is my way of saying thank you for coming. So don't miss the opportunity. Don't let that pass you by. So make sure you join the live conversation and share your thoughts, and let's empower each other to reach new heights in this world of entrepreneurship, right? So again, grab the vault below, click on the link so you can have more of this inspiration. But again, I want to leave you with this last thought. And the last thought of this is understanding the law of advancement, that if you're looking at your bank account and say, I keep investing in this and I keep investing in the market and I keep buying leads and I keep doing this and it's just not stem out, understand that the day you plant your seed is not the day you harvest. And the fact that according to law of advancement, everything has to go down before it can go up. When Usain Bolt is getting ready to take off, baby, as fast as run, he got to sit back first on your mark. You got to sit in it. He got to go down first. Then he got to slowly come up, get set, go. When you hear that goat, the take off. And that's how it is. You got to sit in that moment. So don't let your exterior environment make you feel like you're not making progress. You're definitely making progress. Enjoy me again in the vault. It's your girl, Sherri Summer Bell. Talk to you later.